Hi, welcome to day 5 of the What's the Stitch campaign. Today I am wearing my Walk the Moon sweatshirt. I'm wearing my denim pencil skirt again because I want to wear it as many times as I can before it gets cold next week, and I wore my short black boots. So today I actually did an interview with a fashion student at my university. So I am just going to read you the description for the senior project that she's working on now, and then I will just go ahead and play that interview. So her name is Nogah Seidemann, and this is the description for her project. Just like a mosaic uses broken pieces to create something new and beautiful, in my collection I am exploring how textile scraps and post-consumer textiles can become something entirely different. By using a variety of embellishment and manipulation techniques, such as applique and color blocking, I am able to reinvent a textile from its original life, hopefully inspiring other individuals and designers to consider their own textile waste and opportunities for creative design. My collection is pulling inspiration from mosaics of the New York subway and the fabulous artwork of Gustav Klimt. My work plays with lots of bright colors and golden accents. I am beyond excited to share it with my friends and community. So that's the senior project that Nogah is working on now, and here is a little interview I shot with her about sustainable fashion, how she implements it in her own life, and how she hopes other people can implement it. So this is Nogah Seidemann. She is a senior apparel and design merchandising student, and she's a minor in environmental affairs here at CSU. So we're just gonna chat a bit about her focus on sustainable fashion and things like that. So I was going to start by asking, why were you motivated to focus on sustainability in your major?
For me, it struck me most when on Plaza, the factory collapse occurred in 2015, I believe. To me, it seems totally absurd that something that's supposed to bring like joy and beauty into the world and like make people's lives, like, you know, enrich people's lives, is making like somebody's life like so significantly worse, like just being so damaging. I feel like that doesn't fit. So yeah, to me, good design is not just how stuff looks, but how it's made. So yeah, it's just kind of inherent. Like I couldn't do it any other way.
Yeah. Do you try to consume clothing sustainably in your own life? Is that something that's really important to you?
Yeah. Absolutely. You can choose, but you shouldn't. So in my like purchasing and how I consume clothing, I usually like I'll thrift, and then I'll kind of balance that out with like a few like investment pieces where I kind of like take the time and like look into the company and like kind of think about the piece. So it's kind of, I have those like cheaper like things that I'm getting at thrift stores sometimes, but still like thinking about it, you know. And then there's like a few investment pieces. Well, lots of hand-me-downs as well from like my grandma.
Yeah, I love
and my like sisters.
I love hand-me-downs for
Yeah.
sure. Do you feel like you sometimes have obstacles with budget, being a student, and trying to be sustainable and purchase more sustainable items?
I think if you're buying at the same pace that you buy fast fashion, and you're buying these like more expensive slow fashion pieces, you're obviously it's going to add up really quickly. But if you're being thoughtful about it and you're only buying like a few pieces that are like really unique to you, then it breaks up like that cost over, you know, a couple of months or, you know, a longer period,
Right.
And that makes it like more accessible. I mean, obviously they are still more expensive, but that's just kind of inherent because you can't produce at like that quality and like with those ethics. Without, like, to achieve those lower prices, you really do have to cut corners. So when people are like, why is it? Like, it has to. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like since I've started paying more attention to my clothing that I've actually saved money because I think more about what I'm buying. I feel like in the fast fashion industry, a lot of the time, you feel like you want all these things, you see all these trends coming in, you want to be a part of the trend, and then once you have gotten those items, you don't like them as much as you thought you did.
Yeah.
It's all that marketing that makes you feel like you have to buy all these things. So I bought more stuff, so much more stuff, that I can spend more money on items now. But if I'm only buying something, once a month, once every few months, because I have such a narrowed in wardrobe, I know what I like now, it actually saves money if you are investing in things.
Impulse purchases add up really quickly, and because it is an impulse, you're not fully registering that cost, and having a framework where if I'm at a store, even if I see things that are cute, I'm I'm always looking at tags, and I'm oh, I really like this, but I don't feel okay buying it, and so I end up buying less. But I can still enjoy going to the stores and looking at things.
Shopping with friends and stuff, and I have a lot of fun going to thrift stores too. And I know that thrifting is not for everybody. Sometimes people feel more comfortable with hand-me-downs, at least. Some people feel uncomfortable wearing other people's clothing. But if you feel comfortable with that, I love thrifting.
An adventure.
Yeah. Well, and you were talking about your dress here. Maybe we can show the camera. You said you thrifted this, and then
Yeah, I thrifted it when I was abroad, so it had some meaning in that way. It's definitely vintage. I'm thinking it's from the 50s.
Yeah.
And then I did an embroidery on the back, which also I invested a lot of time in it. So it has now all this cumulative meaning to me. So it's fun. That's to me what positive sustainability is about, when the clothing goes beyond just being something that's hanging in your closet, but something that has meaning to you, story, and kind of has that additional value.
Yeah.
Because when we care about things, we take care of things.
Yes, and you take care of them, and you're not as likely to throw them away and have that just landfill of textile waste.
Yeah.
That's just all over the world. Yeah. If there was somebody who's just trying to get started being more sustainable with clothing, what do you think would be a good starting point? Because I always tell people pick one thing and kind of start to give up, because it's hard to change your entire way of consumption all at once.
I think mending, honestly, is a wonderful place to start. Not only because obviously mending extends the life of your clothing, but I think it also, once you are mending, you start realizing the quality of things, right? If something you fixed it and then the next week it's ripping out again, I think it's just a click in your mind, kind of how it's made, even if you don't really have a full understanding of garment construction.
Yeah.
I think it's also a great place to start because being a sustainable consumer can be not only about consumption.
Yeah.
And if you so I think that's a really great place to start.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. And that also, I think, extends to thrifting, where if something doesn't fit quite right, or if something needs to be hemmed, hemming some pants was kind of an easy fix.
Yeah.
That extends to that expands your options too, when you get secondhand clothes.
Yeah, and I think there's a satisfaction that you get from doing something with your hands that people don't necessarily get to do in their everyday life.
Right.
And yeah, it's very active and engaging. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. Do you think if somebody were to tell you that they don't feel like they can still express their style being more sustainable, they can't, it's hard to jump that gap, or they don't feel like they can have enough clothing to express their style and still consume more sustainably, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I think that's a really fair question. Because for me, like, I'm not a minimalist. It's simply just not part of like my personality, and I have to figure out how to like embrace sustainable apparel for me without, I'm not gonna be doing like a closet that's only like white or neutrals because I love colors. So I think you just have to I think it comes down to like really choosing stuff that you really enjoy. And even if it doesn't all fit together, it's just like you don't have stuff that's like useless, and stuff that you're not wearing.
Yes.
It's a huge thing. People who like have stuff in their closet, they'll have there for like a year, and they just don't wear. So yeah, I think you can if you're being creative about it, you can always find ways to express yourself. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be like boho or like, like it doesn't have to be a certain aesthetic to be like, especially with like how much, there's new brands coming out all the time with different approaches to sustainability and different approaches to style. And I think there are more options now than there would have been in like a decade ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just have to look.
Yeah.
Like, it takes time.
Look and really think about what you really
Yeah.
enjoy. Okay, so I think that's such a great perspective to hear from somebody who's really more in the industry and is both being sustainably consuming within your own life and also studying the industry itself. So thank you so much for talking to us, and it was great to hear your perspective on everything.
Thank you for talking to me. I love talking about it. I think it's a wonderful thing that like everybody should get involved in. So I'm happy to chat.
All right, awesome.